Hi everyone, welcome back to Gastronomy Games. With summer coming to a close and fall just around the corner, we have all new ingredients, cooking styles, and dishes to celebrate. We are starting the celebration of fall flavors with this warm Brussels sprout salad. We are making it with bacon, blue cheese, hazelnuts, strawberries, and a maple vinaigrette. But using the techniques in this video, you can take it in any direction you wish. So without any further ado, let's get to the kitchen. The lion's share of the prep work on this recipe is knife work, so make sure you have a sharpened and honed knife before you begin. Mince 2 shallots as fine as you can. It's more important that they're a similar size than being a specific size, but the smaller they are, the better the flavor will incorporate into the dish. Next up is our star of the show, our Brussels sprouts. We just want to take the butt end off before cutting them in half and thinly slicing them. While this task is admittedly tedious, I still think it's more efficient than using a mandolin or grater, and much safer than using a mandolin. However, if you would prefer to use either of these tools, that is totally up to you, but this is a great way to practice your knife work. Before we go any further, let's toast our hazelnuts. We are going to crush them slightly with a meat mallet for better toasting coverage. The hazelnuts can roll if you try to cut them, so it's safer to crush them than to chop them. I like to do this right in the rimmed baking sheet to keep them from flying all over the place. When they're broken up roughly into quarters, remove any loose hazelnut skin and toast them in a 350 oven until brown. This will take about 10 to 15 minutes. Finally, we have to slice and dice our bacon. We want medium to small dice so we can cook out as much fat as possible, cutting it in half short ways first before dicing it to make it easier. This task will be particularly hard with a dull knife, so make sure your knife is sharp before you start dicing. With that, our mise en place is out of the way, so let's head to the stove. Set a large skillet over low to medium heat before adding in about a tablespoon of vegetable oil, followed by your bacon. Even though bacon is loaded with fat, we want to add a little to our pan so that our bacon doesn't burn before it starts to release its fat. Cooking on low also helps render out more fat without running the risk of burning it. We want as much fat released from this bacon as possible because it will make it crispier, but also because we need that fat for our pan vinaigrette. You can use a little bit of water or wine in the bottom of the pan instead of oil to help the rendering process. I personally don't like this method because as the fat is released into the water, it'll spit back up at you. However, some chefs swear by this technique as it does allow for almost all the excess fat to be released. If you want to use this method, however, that is totally up to you, but I would recommend some long sleeves if you want to give it a try. Once our bacon is brown and crispy, let it drain on a paper towel lined plate, being careful to try to keep as much of that bacon fat in our pan as possible. With our bacon removed, we are going to add in our shallots to our pan. We're just trying to sweat these down and get them translucent. With how fine they're minced, this should only take a minute or two. Once they are translucent, we are going to add in a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Once everything is combined, we are going to add in about 3/4 of our Brussels sprouts with a heavy pinch of salt. Even though our bacon is very salty, this added salt will help to cook our Brussels sprouts evenly and also bring out more flavor in our vinaigrette. I like to keep about 1/4 of the shredded Brussels sprouts raw to add in at the end. This will add a crunch and some freshness to cut through the fat from our bacon, cheese, and nuts. When soft, taste your Brussels sprouts for seasoning. If you need more vinaigrette, add more maple syrup, apple cider vinegar, and Dijon mustard. I like to do this in a 4:3:2 ratio, but as with all of our recipes, make sure you adjust them to your palate. If it's necessary, mix this additional vinaigrette well, and then add in your sauteed sprouts, a 1/4 cup of your toasted hazelnuts, 3/4 of your bacon, your raw sprouts, a few small diced strawberries, and about a 1/4 cup of blue cheese. This can be served hot immediately, or made ahead of time and served cold. Garnish it with bacon before serving and enjoy. I hope this video helped you cope with the end of summer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to cook with you all again soon.